We are the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives, and when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
Finally, West Virginia is moving in the right direction. As your West Virginia Senate President, Craig Blair has passed the most conservative legislative agenda in the nation. He has fought for our values like banning elective abortions, protecting our Second Amendment rights, and prevented boys from playing in girls' sports. Senator Craig Blair championed the largest tax cut in the history of our state. Craig Blair, a strong conservative leader. Promises made, promises kept. This election, vote for Republican Craig Blair for State Senate. Paid for by the Committee to Re-elect Craig Blair.
The following sports broadcast is a special presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school basketball. Today's high school basketball broadcast is being brought to you by
Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, Rocks, the Dutch Miller Auto Group, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, the Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Brown's Funeral Homes and Cremations, CMA Honda, Craig Blair for State Senate, Orsini's Home Store, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Berkeley County Health Department, Hagerstown Ford, Smallwood and Small Insurance, Modern Realty Results, Ollie's, the Palace Lounge, Bechtel Jewelers, Cody's Auto Body, WVU Medicine, Gary Kelly Allstate Insurance, and the Mountaineer Grill and Pub.
And now, let's go courtside and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team with today's pregame show.
Good evening and welcome to Martinsburg High School. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Dylan Bishop, John Allerton on camera, and back in the studio is Colin McLaughlin as we welcome you to the Skip Fowler Memorial Classic, Day 2 of the Classic. Tonight we will have Washington taking on North Hagerstown here in Game 1, followed at 6 p.m. around tip-off, and then following that game we will have Martinsburg taking on Lindsley. This is the Parsons Ford Countdown to Tip-Off, brought to you by Parsons Ford, located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons. Dylan, North Hagerstown taking on Washington here in Game 1. We saw North Hagerstown taking on Martinsburg last night. Martinsburg getting a win. Washington fell to Lindsley, obviously kind of a mismatch going up against a private school in Lindsley. But Washington, exciting start for them. They're 4-1. North Hagerstown's 5-2. They're dealing with, I believe, an injury to Nas Keys, one of their star players, but still a pretty talented team, and this should be a good matchup here in Game 1.
Right, yeah, I think we're going to see a little more evenly matched teams today in the two games that we have today. And I think that, North Hagerstown and Washington are going to be two schools that, they're working through different things. If you're North Hagerstown working through the injury to Nas Keys, and Washington working through just all of the new players, the new coaching staff, and, getting that chemistry, that feel for each other, that, cohesiveness. But it's worked out for them pretty well so far this year, with yesterday being their first loss of the season. So I'm looking forward to perhaps seeing Washington get a little bit more of an even matchup tonight so we can see what this team is really capable of.
We have a EPAC battle going on right now in front of us at the JV level. It's Washington taking on Martinsburg. Martinsburg with a 1-point lead, 41-40. You mentioned that Lindsley-Martinsburg tonight being possibly a little bit more evenly matched. We'll have to wait and see. I think Lindsley's kind of in a class of their own.
Well,
all the teams here.
The reason I use the word more, so, they might have a better shot than Washington, perhaps.
Perhaps, I don't know. There's a lot to still be figured out in the EPAC and figured out among those teams, but we'll have to wait and see. Washington, North Hagerstown tonight, and Washington changing up their starting lineup. George Welty coming off the bench, so they're going a little bit more small ball mentality here in Game 2 against kind of an undersized North Hagerstown team. So Sean McCarthy's going to get the start, as well as Josh McCarthy, and then the normal starters from yesterday in Dolman, Bordley, and Gore. But should be interesting to see a little bit of a small ball approach for the Washington team that likes to rely on their size with the 6'5" Gore and the 6'7" Welty, but against this North Hagerstown team, they probably want to match the way they get up and down the floor.
Yeah, styles make fights, right? So you got to sometimes, that's the beauty of basketball, is sometimes you can have guys that work in different roles and they match up differently against different teams. Sometimes you got to go big, sometimes you got to go small, sometimes you got to get fast, whatever it is. If it's a bit more of a shooting lineup, more of an inside post scoring lineup, it depends on the team. So I can see why you would want to go a little smaller against North Hagerstown compared to Lindsley. Just the level of competition there, the size is different on both sides. So you can see, Coach Miller already, willing to be flexible with his group and see what sort of groups, what rotations work best against who.
And I think they saw some good things yesterday, even though it wasn't a very competitive basketball game. You saw Chris Dolman have some bright spots throughout the game. We saw, Bordley, when he got going, his ability to score and what it could be. But looking back on it, it was an 80-45 loss for Washington. Dolman led the way with 12 points. Bordley also scoring 12. Sean McCarthy had 6. He had 2 3-pointers in that first half. Not a whole lot of offense for everybody else. You give up 80. It was their worst offensive game of the year so far for Washington, but it was also their toughest matchup of the year. So it's still tough, I feel like, for us to get a good read on this Patriots team. But this North Hagerstown matchup, team that lost to Martinsburg yesterday, had a big lead in that game and then let it slip. Martinsburg started to impress late and overall gets the win. But, Washington had Hagerstown had some issues in that game as it went on and ended up not being as impressive as you thought you were going to see heading into it.
Yeah, I think that just things kind of slipped up for them in the second half. Martinsburg started playing better. They didn't quite keep their foot on the gas pedal. But I think that I'm interested in this matchup with North Hagerstown and Washington because it'll be a chance for us to really see common opponents for teams in the EPAC, because we keep talking about how the EPAC is wide open. It's wide open, wide open. We keep using that phrase. So until we start getting a lot of common opponents, or until we get into conference play and see these teams play each other, we got to just go off of, had they played the same teams, what did they do against them? And again, styles make fights, so it's not a perfect comparison every time. But it's our chance here. North Hagerstown, Martinsburg yesterday, Washington today. So it's we can see it with our very eyes. The camera that John's running here with for us today. What does each team look like against the same team? So that's just one step closer to figuring out what the hierarchy of the EPAC is before they actually start playing against each other.
And you mentioned the EPAC. Other games going on in the EPAC over in Hedgesville, as Hedgesville has its Habanero Hoops Classic that they're putting on right now. Jefferson and Hedgesville are at that tournament. Jefferson got a win yesterday, 77-43 over CC Parkside. The Cougars remain undefeated on the year. And Quentin Goins led Jefferson in scoring. That's a new addition to the team in terms of leading the team in scoring with 15 points. Jamari Jenkins scored 13, but he did go down with an injury. So we'll see if how things develop there, because obviously Jenkins is one of the best players in the EPAC, one of the best players in the state, but he left the game with an injury. Jaden Gladney threw in 12, as well as Kylan Johnson. So Cougars remain undefeated. They get a win. Hedgesville, I believe, also was victorious, but I didn't see a final. I'm going to try to find that real quickly here. But just some good basketball being played in the EPAC right now, Dylan. Every team has a winning record. I believe they only have 3 losses as a conference. So as we head into conference play here in a few weeks, it's getting pretty exciting. And the JV action, if it's any indication of what we're going to see at varsity, we got 44-44 with 30 seconds left.
Right. And with Washington at the free throw line.
Did not see a final from Hedgesville taking on Lewis County yesterday, but I believe it was a Hedgesville victory. Just based on what I was hearing from around here, but didn't actually see a score. So, again, the EPAC's going to be highly competitive, and kind of trying to see if this last 30 seconds are going to go out, if we're going to have to add some time to our pregame show or not, based on this JV action. But let's just keep it here. And
it's true. If they go to overtime, we'll have to wait for this game. Obviously, this game scheduled for 6 o'clock, but really it's 20 minutes after the conclusion of this one, so it'll depend. Washington went 1 of 2 at the free throw line, and now we got a foul on the other end.
Yep, they're up 1 here of 19 seconds. Fortunately, I don't have a JV roster in front of me to tell you exactly what's going on, but Bulldogs have it underneath the basket here.
Yeah, they had a foul to give. I believe that was only the third. It looks like the third foul for Washington.
Martinsburg underneath, no good. Rebounded by the Patriots.
Yeah, they got a foul. They got the jump ball. Okay.
I didn't really see much control on the Martinsburg side, but
not really. So you've got 12.6 seconds left.
By the way, Hedgesville with a 51-29 win.
Ball State, the possession arrow was to Martinsburg, so they've got a shot here. Down 1 with 12.6 seconds left.
And off the inbound, that's a foul on Washington. As you mentioned, Dylan, that's the 4th team foul. So we'll have another inbound here on the baseline for the Bulldogs, with the Patriots with 1 foul to give. Martinsburg's going to go to the scores table, make a substitution. It's 11 in for 21. Exciting JV action here, Dylan. Off the inbound, Martinsburg gets it in, but it's a turnover. It's off the hands of a Bulldog and out of bounds.
See, number 15 started cutting in from the right wing, and the inbounder thought that he was just going to stay out there at the three-point line, so he threw a laser beam out there.
Well, pretty big crowd on hand. Of course, a lot of teams playing in this tournament, and parking was at a premium on the way in here.
Sure was.
Good to see, though. Good to see crowds out at high school basketball. The crowds seem to have kind of been down the last few years since COVID. So hopefully we're starting to see now people coming out, returning to the crowds, and especially when we get into EPAC play. We have so many close high schools, great rivalries. We want to see it packed. We want to see the packed gyms back. So this is certainly a good sign of that, I think. The crowd tonight, even though the parking was pretty limited, not a huge crowd even with that. I mean, home side is full, but overall just a lot of lingering people, I guess, probably still getting ready for varsity action, I would imagine, as well. So
yeah, there might be that. And the difference in parking, or in between, how many parking spots?
To be fair, there's not a ton of parking here at Martinsburg anyway.
Right, yeah. But yeah, people come out for the Skip Fowler Memorial. It's a good time here. Of course, no school this week. It's a lot easier for everybody to come out.
Usually no school, though, means less students, so not usually huge student sections. But Washington has it off the inbound. They're going to head to the line and shoot a pair of free throws, up by 1 in this JV action with 7 seconds left. But a good competitive JV game to set the tone for hopefully a competitive night at the varsity level. First free throw up and good.
Got to make the free throws. You get a timeout before the second one. Ice the shooter. That's what it looks like. Yeah. Or to just set up, here's what we're doing if you miss. Here's what we're doing if he makes it. So you don't have to call the timeout afterwards.
Yeah,
just go.
Kind of double situation there. So I think it's a good timeout. And for the Bulldogs, I mean, JV action, it's important. Obviously, you want to get these guys some opportunities. But in this early season, sometimes in the non-conference it can be tough to get JV games in. So that's another thing. You get Washington, local school, obviously they're going to want to play JV as well. And also in front of kind of a big stage. So I think these are some great opportunities for these young players in a good game here with 7 seconds left. we'll see what happens. If Washington makes it, it's a 3-point game, which is probably what they're going to attempt to do. With 7 seconds, you don't really have enough time to intentionally miss or anything like that to try to have the clock run out.
Yeah, just a few too many seconds for that. They missed one free throw last time. They went to the free throw line and only went 1 for 2.
Second one's good, though.
Got them both this time.
3-point game. Now Washington burns a timeout to discuss
That's interesting.
defense. Yeah, it does kind of help Martinsburg out as well because now they can draw something up.
Sure, yeah. But I guess, especially at this level, you'd rather that your defense knows what they're doing than, have to just have them set up.
Right.
Because you were probably saying the same thing in the Washington huddle before them, where you're saying, if we make it, do this. If we miss it, do this. And it would be kind of a scramble. Now you can just set up and make sure you get the opportunity to use the timeout, you might as well use it.
Yeah, can't give up an open look, but obviously don't foul in this situation is something for Washington as well to be aware of.
Right, definitely.
So,
or there's always the old strategy of purposely fouling.
Right, yeah.
Up by 3 points. Just have to make sure that you don't do it
while they're shooting.
Yes, in the act of shooting.
Which
so,
is easier said than done, maybe at this level.
Right. It's a problem even at the NBA level.
That's true. Yeah.
I want to say it was Golden State and Oklahoma City. There was a game that went to overtime just maybe within the last month, or Draymond Green accidentally fouled Chet Holmgren in the act of shooting when Oklahoma City was down by 3 points with like 3 seconds left.
Draymond Green doesn't always intentionally foul. 3-pointer on the way, no good, and
it was a good
Washington beats Martinsburg. Yeah, it was. Great look there for the Bulldogs toward the end, but unfortunately for them, it heads out, and they'll put the 20 minutes up on the clock for the varsity action. Let's take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from the head coach of the Washington Patriots varsity boys basketball team, Ryan Miller. This is West Virginia High School Basketball and Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We're back in 2 minutes.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer!
The Mountaineer Pub offers many daily specials, including Trivia Night Mondays, Karaoke Tuesdays, Steak Night Wednesdays and Sundays, Boneless Swing Night Thursdays, and DJ and/or karaoke, again Fridays and Saturdays. And remember, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays through Fridays is happy hour with $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Pub!
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer deaths in the United States each year. But do you know the radon levels in your home? Home is a place to live, love, and laugh, not a place to breathe air containing radon. The Berkeley and Morgan County Health Departments are distributing free confidential radon test kits, and you can get yours at the Berkeley County Health Department office in Martinsburg and the Morgan County Health Department office in Berkeley Springs. Protect your home and family. Get your free radon test kit today.
We welcome you back here to Martinsburg High School. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Dylan Bishop back in the studio. Colin McLaughlin, our cameraman is John Alderton. It's now time for our coaches' interviews here on the Parsons Ford Countdown to Tip-Off. Coaches' interviews are brought to you by Rock's Local Markets. With convenient locations around the Eastern Panhandle, Rock's fast, fresh, friendly. We'll now hear from the head coach of the Washington Patriots, Ryan Miller. Now joined by the head coach of the Washington Patriots, Ryan Miller. Coach, a tough one yesterday, but it was a tough matchup against the Lindsley team. That's a quality program. What did you guys kind of take away from it?
So I told them before the game that transition and offensive rebounding would be what decided the game, and then when you give up almost 60 points in those two aspects of the game combined, it's normally not going to come out in your favor. And I told my guys, we can make all the excuses in the world. They were way bigger than us, and they were more athletic and all that, but that's not what we're about as a program. We could have done a better job, and hopefully we learned that lesson, and we'll do better tonight.
We're Hagerstown, a team that looks to be a little bit more on your level in terms of another public school, not necessarily as much size on their end as well, but still a very talented team, a team that has three guys that are averaging 16 points per game. Looks like they were foul one of their key scorers right now, but still, what have you seen from them, and what did you kind of take away from their game last night against Martinsburg?
So similarly to Lindsley, they really like to get up and down the floor, and they attack the glass. So again, it comes down; those two aspects are going to decide a lot of the game tonight. We got to get back in transition. We haven't done a great job of that in our first 5 games, to be honest with you. So we worked on that a little bit. We had a practice today, so hopefully we do that. And then execution on offense is going to be big. We got to take quality shots and not let people force us into shots. So that's going to be big for us tonight.
Any positives from the game yesterday?
So I thought our young guys did really well. I think sometimes I forget, so I know other people do, how young we are. We have 1 senior on our team. And so, when you're playing, like I looked out one time and we had 3 sophomore and 2 freshmen on the floor. So there's something to be said for that. Like the future is there. It's just, we're getting there, we're building. And I knew that when I took over the job. It's not going to happen overnight. So I think that our young guys really competed against a quality team. That made me proud.
Tonight, as you take on this North Hagerstown team, like you said, they like to get up and down the floor. You guys also seem to be able to get up and down the floor pretty well. How do you think this matchup, what will be some keys tonight to get the win?
So we got to take care of the basketball. We tell our guys all the time, live ball turnovers kill you because it allows people to get out in transition. If they got to take it out of bounds and we can set up a defense, I can deal with those. But the live ball ones, and we had a lot of them against Lindsley where they tip passes and we're able to go get dunks. We got to cut those out. And then taking quality shots on offense. We got to take care of it. And Lindsley forced us into the look that they wanted us to get rather than what we wanted. So we got to take care of the basketball to get those looks tonight.
Last thing here, Coach, as you wrap up this Skip Fowler Memorial, what are some things you hope you can build on moving forward with the rest of your schedule?
Yeah, so we got a lot to build on. When we took over the program, of course, Washington's been, kind of in the dumps of the Eastern Panhandle for a while, and so we're trying to change that. Again, we knew it wasn't going to happen overnight. So just the little things, the talking on defense, getting back in transition, all the basics of basketball, we got to build on those. The rest of the stuff takes care of itself. We've got plenty of talent there. It's just building that program and doing things that we want to do in the right way. So I think if we continue to build on that, we'll be just fine in the end.
All right, Coach, thank you. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, sir.
That was Washington boys basketball head coach Ryan Miller. And we will take another 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, Dylan and I will continue to break down this matchup. This is West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for Dollar Wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the Cornhole Tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. When what to my wondering eyes did appear but a roach propane truck and a man in cold weather gear? He spoke not a word but went straight to his work and filled up the tank, then turned with a jerk. I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all!" Call Roach Energy at 304-263-3329.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Welcome you back here to the Martinsburg Fieldhouse. Nick Verzolini, Dylan Bishop here on the Parsons Ford countdown to tip-off as we get ready for Washington boys basketball taking on North Hagerstown here at the Skip Fowler Memorial Classic, hosted by the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Following this game tonight, we will have another game for you as Lindsley takes on Martinsburg in the nightcap. The Bulldogs getting a win yesterday over North Hagerstown. Washington falling to Lindsley 80-45 in a game where it was close in the first quarter, and then Lindsley really started to pull away. Dolman and Bordley led the way for the Patriots with 12 points apiece. Heading into last night's contest, Washington came in at 4-0 for the first time since the 2013-2014 season under new head coach Ryan Miller, who we just heard from on the countdown to tip-off, Dylan. And Coach Miller comes over from Jefferson High School's middle school basketball program and has a lot of experience at that level, but he comes in and brings a lot of excitement to this program that hasn't had excitement in a very long time.
Right. Obviously, he got some transfers from the other schools like Chet Gore and DJ Bordley, and that's going to change the trajectory of your program when you can able to get guys in there. And clearly, he is a coach that players want to play for. Otherwise, you wouldn't have seen transfers like that. We've seen plenty of coaches move around schools within the Panhandle and not have very many players follow. We've only had this transfer rule for a year, yeah. So we haven't had a whole lot of opportunities to see it. But this really is one of the first examples of seeing that. You can just tell. When you see players like that move schools with the coach, then it's a guy that players want to play for, and that's always makes everything easier. It's hard to get players, especially at the high school level, when you're dealing with 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds. If they're playing for a coach that they don't like, it's hard to get them motivated. Guys are going to check out. They're not going to play with all of their effort. They're not going to give it 100% every time, unless they have some other motivational factors, kicking them into gear. But just having a coach that players like makes it all so much easier. It makes it easier on the coach. It makes it easier on the players, their teammates. You might have one guy that likes the coach and a bunch of others that don't. It makes things harder on those players that like the coach. But if everyone's on the same page, it gives you that cohesiveness. That's why coaching matters so much, is you can have players who are good, but if you don't have a coach that can put them in the right spots and get them motivated to be their best, then the team's not going to reach its potential. So, and I think that Coach Miller has shown early signs of being able to be someone who can do that.
I think those are all good points, Dylan. And you look at those guys that transferred in, DJ Bordley from Spring Mills, showed that potential last year under Coach Samples in that program of being a really good scorer as the year went on there at Spring Mills, and heading into last night's game averaging over 23 points per game on 56% shooting from the floor. And then Chet Gore was a guy kind of sitting behind a lot of talent at Jefferson that may not have a ton of opportunities, so the transfer rule allows him to make the jump to Washington where he can come in, be a starter right away with this program as a sophomore. And we saw some potential with him, but maybe that potential would have taken 2 or 3 years to be shown at Jefferson, where there was a lot of guys ahead of him. And that's the same thing for Bordley as well. Now they can come to Washington and be stars and have an opportunity to play right away.
Yeah, you see it at the college level all the time. You see it at even professional level. Sometimes good players just get lost in the shuffle behind other teams that are stacked, if you want to call them that, or just have top end talent. Those deep guys. You see Alabama in football, or Kentucky in basketball, Duke in basketball all the time. You see a guy that doesn't really show himself until he's a junior or a senior because he's been sitting behind stars for 2 years or 3 years. But with this transfer rule, even at the high school level, you can have that ability to avoid that. If you're a player like a Chet Gore or a DJ Bordeley, you can move around the Panhandle, move around the state, and say, I feel like I'm good enough to showcase my talent, get myself a college basketball scholarship, but I might not be able to do it at this school because of players in front of me. Even if you want to, the negative route could be, oh, this coach doesn't like me and he's not using me the right way, whatever it might be. You can move around and say, if I go to this school where I'm getting this opportunity, then I'll be able to show what kind of player I am, or this new coach can coach me up in the right way, and I can be a college basketball player.
I think that's one of the positives and really the goals of the transfer rule, is that it allows kids that may be at a school where they're not going to get playing time, go somewhere where they can play right away and hopefully play at the next level.
We see that as a problem in the state of West Virginia altogether. We see plenty of examples of players in the state that don't get recognized by college programs because they play in West Virginia. What's going on there? You see it all the time. You can go back to, since we're here at Martinsburg, it's not basketball but football, Tyson Bagent with WVU. Dana Holgerson never gave him an offer, and he never forgot it. So, and now he's the backup quarterback. He's been a starting quarterback in the NFL. So that's the kind of thing where this transfer rule, that's a different example because that was the starting quarterback 4 years from the state champion. But there's other situations where you can say, maybe this guy, somewhere in the state of West Virginia on this high school team, he would get recognition if he was playing somewhere else, getting some more minutes, getting more opportunities to handle the ball. If you're talking about basketball or just any sport, that's at least the idea. So I think that there's definitely positives from it. There's definitely ways that it can be improved also to make it a more clean process. And obviously there's going to be negatives from it. So you just, depending on your opinion, do you think the positives outweigh the negatives or do you think they don't? So, but unquestionably there are positives to it.
And it looks like we have two guys that are at least getting some of those positives here at Washington. But this is a team that returns some talent as well. Chris Dolman was a freshman point guard that really shined, was all EPAC last year. Josh McCarthy's been one of the top scorers in the EPAC the last few seasons on a Washington team that was pretty depleted. Sean McCarthy also has shown some bright spots, so George Welty with his size can do a lot of different things. Overall, this Washington team is in good position to be one of the top teams in the EPAC this year, Dylan, and we'll have to see more from them here moving forward. Let's take another 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll get Dylan's keys to the game. This is West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How can I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm John Everson, Private Wealth Advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Manchin Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
We welcome you back here to the Skip Fowler Memorial Classic at the Martinsburg Fieldhouse. Nick Verzolini, Dylan Bishop, happy to have you with us here on the Parsons Ford countdown to tip-off as Washington gets ready to take on North Hagerstown. Dylan, let's get your keys to the game brought to you by the Dutch Miller Automotive Group. The key to your next car is at the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, home of friends and family pricing. Start with North Hagerstown, then give us some keys for Washington as well tonight.
Well, for North Hagerstown, I think they need to do their best to work the offensive boards and defensive boards, just rebound and box out, because there's a lot of size on this Washington team that it could be difficult for them. Chet Gore is going to be a problem for a lot of schools. North Hagerstown, not a tiny team by any stretch of the imagination, but sometimes that can be a problem. So you got to use your leverage, use the hustle to be able to get rebounds. And for Washington, I think the key is to slow down Will Bonds, because obviously those are him and Keys were the two guys that are averaging double-digit points on this team. The next leading scorer is at 7.7 per game once you get past those two, and Keys is out. So you got one guy who's averaging 14.7 points per game, and then you don't have a lot of guys that score a lot of points after that. So I think if you can slow him down, try to make the other players on North Hagerstown be the ones to put the ball in the basket, then you should be able to have more success tonight.
All right, let's get you the starting lineups now, brought to you by the Murius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg, or call 304-263-4343. In Washington, they have some interesting uniform situation where their white uniforms and blue numbers, and their blue uniforms, their numbers don't match. So I made the adjustments on my score sheet for the new numbers that they had yesterday, but then I see that their numbers are back to what they were supposed to be today. So good thing is we seen this team enough now that I have an idea of who everybody is. But starting for Washington at guard will be starting number 1, Chris Dolman at point guard. Joining him in the backcourt will be number 5, DJ Bordley. Number 11, Chet Gore. Number 20, Sean McCarthy. And number 23, Josh McCarthy. And then for North Hagerstown, starting for them will be, once again, the same starters we project from yesterday. Number 1, Day Whedon. Number 4, Will Bonds is not starting, so it'll be number 12, Reese Strickland. Number 10, Landon Somerville. And number 21, Brady Walters. Number 24, Braden Griffin. Again, your starting lineups brought to you by the Murius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg, or call 304-263-4343. Dylan, as we get ready for tip-off, anything else you think kind of stand out to you about this matchup here tonight?
I don't know if there's anything other than what I've said already. I'm just looking forward to it. See this Washington team. I get to see them up close and personal, in person for the first time since I was in the studio yesterday. So that'll be fun for me. Got some familiar faces on the Washington coaching staff. See some Spring Mills alums, particularly former Shepherd basketball player Zane Cogan, who was on Kelly Church's staff at Hedgesville last year, now with Ryan Miller over at Washington here.
I think another interesting thing will be no Will Bonds for this North Hagerstown team. We saw him go down yesterday. Not having him, not having Keys, they're down quite a bit of scoring. So they're going to need guys to step up, and they're just down roster-wise as well. Not a whole lot of guys on that roster. But as we get ready for the national anthem, we'll take another 2-minute break, and then we'll have opening tip-off here from Martinsburg High School in the Skip Fowler Memorial Classic. This is West Virginia High School Boys Basketball and Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10. We're back in 2 minutes.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for Dollar Wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the Cornhole Tourney, Friday Night Lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for Steak Night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
We welcome you back here to Martinsburg High School. Opening tip-off brought to you by the Skinner Accident Injury Lawyers, representing accident injury claims for over 50 years. Go to SkinnerWins.com, and it's North Hagerstown off the opening tip with Reese Strickland. Strickland dribbling the basketball. Borley tips it away. It's off Strickland and out of bounds, and Washington will take over. Nick Verzolini, Dylan Bishop, happy to have you with us here for West Virginia High School boys basketball action here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. John Allerton, our cameraman, and back in the studio is Kyle McLaughlin. Dolman brings it across the timeline for the Patriots. Now it's into the hands of Chet Gore on the wing. Back up top, Dolman. Dribble handoff with McCarthy. Josh McCarthy drives in, kicks it out to Sean McCarthy, who finds Dolman. Dolman cuts, drives baseline, swings it out. Borley open three from the wing is off the mark, no good. Rebounded by Gore underneath. Gore powers his way up and in. First 2 points of the game go to Chet Gore, and it's 2-0 Washington with 7:18 to go in this first quarter. There's Strickland with it up top, now swinging it into the hands of Somerville. Pull-up jumper on the way is good.
That's a tough shot.
Somerville with his first 2 points. We're tied at 2 with 7 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Now Gore finds a cutting McCarthy in the lane. Floater in the lane falls. Josh McCarthy on the board, 4-2. Washington on top. With it now is Walters. Walters has it poked away, but it's back into the hands of Day Whedon. Whedon dribbling up top, goes in the low post. Somerville fadeaway jumper from the baseline is off the mark, no good. Rebound goes off of Washington and will stay with North Hagerstown underneath.
No, I misspoke earlier when I was mentioning who scores in double digits for North Hagerstown. Somerville also up there at 15.5 points per game. And especially if Bonds is out, that's going to be the key for Washington, for who they need to slow down.
Somerville trying to get isolation going, swings it into the corner for Griffin. Now back to Walters. Walters with the dribble drive in. Tough shot on the way is good. As he just skies up for the layup, it's 4-4. Dolman back the other way off the dribble handoff now with McCarthy. Up top, Chet Gore. Gore with the crossover dribble spin move in the lane, goes up strong, gets fouled on his way up, and will shoot 2.
Something about tall guys named Chet being able to handle the ball. Up at the
Not a super common name, but may be coming that way with Chet Holmgren and Chet Gore.
That was impressive for him to be able to get into the lane there. Draws the foul, makes the first free throw.
Gore's free throw up and good, so 5-4. He has 3 of the 5 for the Patriots. The second one is good as well. Give Gore 4, and 6-4 lead for Washington with 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. Strickland brings it across the timeline, swings it over to Somerville, now into the hands of Griffin. Griffin back up top here will reverse the basketball into the hands of Walters. Somerville thought about the open look for 3, now drives in, crossover dribble, goes into the lane and lays it up and in. Somerville now with 4 points.
It's easy to
tied
say.
At 6.
It's easy to say that the one guy on a team has to. You want to slow him down, but it's easier said than done.
DJ Bordley with the blocking foul and 1 on the basket. And Bordley finishes that basket. Tough take to the rim for the junior, making it 8-6. Let's try to convert the three-point play. Bordley's free throw is up and good. And it's now 9-6, Washington on top.
Even matchup so far. Back and forth.
Drama comes into the game for North Hagerstown. Here's Whedon on the catch and pop from inside the lane. That is good. Day Whedon with his first 2 points, and it's 9-8. Dolman brings it across half court, pulls up from the free throw line and knocks down the open jumper. Nice move from Chris Dolman. And an exciting game here so far, Dylan. Teams going back and forth, a lot of good offense.
Yeah, both these teams have players that can create their own shot off the dribble.
Whedon loses it out of bounds, and that's a turnover. Washington will take over.
And that always makes for exciting basketball. You have guys that can just take the ball themselves and get to the rim or pull up and make tough shots.
Chris Dolman will bring it across the court for the Patriots in the hands of Chet Gore. He'll pull up for 3, and that's off the mark. No good. Rebounded by Somerville. Somerville into the front court now. Hands it off to Whedon. Back into Somerville's hands. 11-8, Washington on top, and Somerville looking to go on isolation against McCarthy. Kicks it out to Walters. Walters head fakes. Finds Strickland. Now it's a breakdown. It's back in the hands of Walters. Hop step in the lane, and he finishes for 2. Walters with 4 points for the senior.
I mean, he's the guy that has the size to answer Gore for Washington.
Sean McCarthy reverses the basketball now into the hands of Chet Gore. Gore back up top to Josh McCarthy at the top of the key. McCarthy guarded closely by Drama. Now into the hands of Dolman. McCarthy's 3 from the wing is off the mark. Rebounded by Somerville as he skies up over a Washington Patriot and comes down with it. Somerville in transition to Whedon. Corner 3 on the way. Good. Nothing but net for Dre Whedon. He has 5 points. And North Hagerstown's in the lead here tonight at 13-11 with 3:25 to go in this opening quarter. Here's Chet Gore. Gore lost control of it. Walters takes it away. Whedon back the other way. Gore gets it back. And now it's back in the hands of Walters. Walters bounce past Strickland just inside the three-point arc and knocks it down. Hot shooting on both ends, but North Hagerstown has built itself a 4-point lead over the Washington Patriots at 15-11 with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, Gore was doing a little too much there, trying to do a little too much on that last possession.
Dolman out to Sean McCarthy, corner 3 in and out, no good. Strickland tips it into the air. It's rebounded by McCarthy, and it's a jump ball, and it will stay with the Patriots. Our first quarter presented to you on TV 10 by the Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations. Robert Fields and Sons, a family-owned full-service funeral home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown. Ranson, proudly serving the area since 1880. As well as CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA moving lives forward. Here's Gore off the inbound 3. That's good from Chet Gore. Gore has 7 to lead Washington. It's 15-14 with 2:35 to go in the first quarter. Walters pulls up from just inside the three-point arc. That's no good. Ball is tipped around and out of bounds, and it will stay with North Hagerstown. Somerville's inbound pass is tipped by Bordley into the hands of Drama, now back into Somerville's hands. Just over 2 minutes to play, and a reach-in foul is going to be called, I believe, on Chris Dolman. That's it, his first.
I've liked the ball movement from North Hagerstown for the most part. They're spreading the ball around pretty well.
Walters downloaded Drama, posting up on Gore. His shot no good, but he gets his own offensive rebound and lays it back up and in. First 2 points for Drama. It's 17-14.
That's the effort that you need on the boards, on the glass.
Sean McCarthy with the basketball now. Chet Gore swings it to Chris Dolman in the corner. Dolman off the Gore screen, drives into the lane. Floater goes up, no good. Rebounded by Reese Strickland. Strickland pulls it away and now brings it back the other way into the hands of Whedon. Whedon quickly pass back to Strickland. Kick out, 3 from Somerville in the corner. Money.
Contested, too. Somerville's impressive.
20-14. Somerville has 7 of the 20 for North Hagerstown. Here's a corner 3 from Dolman to answer. That's off the mark. No good. Rebounded by Walters. Whedon into the lane with a floater. That's no good. Rebounded by Gore. Gore back the other way for the Patriots. Over to DJ Bordley. Bordley off the Gore screen. Pulls up. Jumper on the way. In and out. No good. Rebounded by Somerville.
And not a great shot selection there by Bordley.
You mentioned the Somerville abilities, and I mean, yeah, he can score from all 3 levels. Has a lot of good moves on his arsenal. Reese Strickland now on the attack. Guarded by Machado. Kicks it into the corner for Drumma. Now over to Walters. Walters into the low post for Somerville. Spin move against Bordley. Gets him up into the air. Fade away over Sean McCarthy is good. 22-14.
The contested shot making of Somerville has just been crazy so far.
Sean McCarthy back on the other end with the basketball for Washington. Have not seen the big man George Welty so far. Here's a drive in from DJ Bordley with the left hand, and Bordley gets it to go. 5 points for DJ Bordley, 22-16. Final 8 seconds of the first quarter. And in the hands of Somerville. Somerville against Bordley. Drives, floater on the baseline. That's good. Somebody guard that man. Huge first quarter, 24-16 at the end of 1. North Hagerstown on top of Washington. We'll take a 1-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Boys Basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 from the Skip Fowler Classic.
We are the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer!
The Mountaineer Pub offers many daily specials, including Trivia Night Mondays, Karaoke Tuesdays, Steak Night Wednesdays and Sundays, Only Swing Night Thursdays, and DJ and/or karaoke, again Fridays and Saturdays. And remember, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays through Fridays is happy hour with $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Pub!
A highly entertaining first quarter of play between Washington and North Hagerstown as we enter quarter number 2 of our score, 24-16. North Hagerstown on top of the Washington Patriots. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Dylan Bishop. Dylan, it was a great first quarter from a North Hagerstown team that already has a high-scoring offense, but 2 of their best scorers are out, and it hasn't affected them so far in this game. They've still stepped up and found ways to put the ball in the basket.
Now the 6'3", 170 Landon Somerville Jr. has been great, shooting the lights out.
Walter's shot is no good, rebounded on the follow by Drama. And he lays it up and in, 26-16. North Hagerstown on top. Chris Dolman brings it into the front court for Washington. Bounce pass over to Machado. Welty now into the game, and the 6'7" Welty sets a screen for Machado, and his three is swish on the pull-up Jay.
What a shot.
Good shot from Machado. That makes it a 7-point game at 26-19. Strickland now with the basketball over the corner to Whedon.
Washington in the zone.
They're trying something
3-2.
new here defensively with the 3-2 look. Here's a three-pointer from Whedon. That's off the mark. George Welty grabs the rebound, fights for it, and then recovers. And now Washington has the basketball. Dolman bringing it across half court into the hands of Machado. Machado will pull up from the elbow, and that's good.
Machado's been great off the bench here in the second quarter in particular. Only 5'6", but able to shoot well so far. Defense hasn't gotten to him.
Zone offense here. Somerville pulls up. Wild-looking shot. No good. Walters grabs the rebound. His shot's off the mark, and Welty grabs it for Washington. So, Dylan, Washington's made the adjustment. They've gone to the zone defense, and so far it's been pretty effective here against North Hagerstown. Defensively, it looks like they may need to make some adjustments on offense.
Yes, there's a foul on the floor. The zone, it gives you different looks. You can say, perhaps they just didn't have anyone to guard Somerville. And this adjustment can kind of let guys, stay in their areas. And if Somerville tries to drive into the lane, there's going to be multiple guys there ready to meet him.
Machado with it offensively. Comes off the Welty screen. Machado down low to Welty. That's tipped away by Drama.
Just a little late on the pass on the roll there.
Whedon kicks it into the corner to Walters. He traveled as he caught it. It's a turnover for North Hagerstown, and Washington will take over. Down by 5 here at 26-21 with just under 6 minutes to play in this first half. Our second quarter is presented to you on TV 10 by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer. Located at 360 Acklison Way in Martinsburg or online at Orsinis.com. DJ Bordley nearly turns it over, tries to keep it alive, and it will now go to North Hagerstown. Our other second quarter sponsor is Craig Blair for State Senate, the Eastern Panhandle's first and only Senate President and Lieutenant Governor, a fiscal and social conservative who's making West Virginia great again by cutting taxes and creating jobs. Let's re-elect Craig Blair in 2024. 26-21, North Hagerstown on top of Washington with 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. And the Hubs with the basketball. Here's Whedon with it over to Somerville. Somerville against that zone defense. Swings it into the corner. Whedon's three on the way is too strong. Rebounded underneath by Pegas. Pegas kicks it out. Whedon drive in. Dump down to Pegas. It's off of him and out of bounds, and it will be Washington basketball. So Day Whedon and Darren Whedon out on the court there for North Hagerstown. Here's Chris Dolman driving in. Open three from Machado on the way is in and out, no good.
It was a deeper three.
Still a good look, but couldn't get it to fall. Somerville on the other end drives into the lane with the left-hand scoop shot on the way. Welty forced to foul. And that will send Somerville to the line to shoot a pair.
I mean, you can just see there how much more difficult it is for Somerville to get into the lane against the zone. I wonder if we'll see North Hagerstown move to a zone at any point. They're having enough success right now that I don't think they need to. But with the amount of pick and roll that Washington likes to run through Dolman and through Bordley, and even with, through having Gore and Welty set those screens, I wonder if they go to the zone at any point if they start to struggle, because that can, a zone defense can really take away that pick and roll game because there is no man-to-man sort of 2-on-2 game to be playing there.
First free throw is no good. Second one falls for Somerville and North Hagerstown, who leads 27-21. Borley off the Welty screen. Pick and roll. Feed him, but he traveled. Kind of caught it at a weird angle there, Dylan, and then it was tough to put the ball on the floor.
Right, it's just a little bit of sloppiness from Washington. A couple possessions ago, you had Borley lose the ball on a rip-through after rejecting the screen. Just need to clean it up a little bit.
There's Darren Whedon with the basketball, back to Day Whedon as they work against the zone defense of Washington. Trying to get the ball moved around the perimeter here up top. Somerville comes out to catch it, and now Whedon attacks. Ball is tipped away by McCarthy and heads out of bounds. It will stay with North Hagerstown. Walters checking back in for drama.
And you see how much slower of a pace we're playing in the second quarter. North Hagerstown really has to work to find, lanes to get themselves good shots now.
It slowed down. Was a 24-16 score at the end of the first quarter. Now 27-21. North Hagerstown still on top. Somerville drives in. Great dish down low to Walters, and he gets the layup to go. 6 points for Walters. Somerville at the assist that time. Dolman now driving in the other way, and a double dribble to call.
Damn, just doing too much. You slow it down.
Feels like they need a timeout here, Dylan.
Yeah, I would think so. We're just seeing a lot of ISO or two-man game from Washington. The guards, Dolman and Borley, are trying to just do a little too much on their own.
It's not necessarily because of a big North Hagerstown run here either. It's just offensively they just look out of sync.
Yeah, the Hubs only have 5 points in this quarter.
Somerville pulls up on a contested shot over Josh McCarthy. It's no good. Machado now back the other way for Washington. We'll see if they can get the offense going. Machado, nice crossover, kicks it over. Borley open, three on the way is an air ball. Whedon, though, can't secure the rebound, and it will stay with Washington. McCarthy with the basketball here, back to Dolman. Dolman dribble handoff of Borley. Borley drives into the lane. Left-handed scoop shot layup is good. So finally the offense coming back here for Washington as Borley gets the layup to go. He has 7 points. 29-23 our score. North Hagerstown on top of Washington. 2:48 to play in this quarter. Machado rips it away from Walters. The 5'6" Machado now with the basketball, brings it into the front court for the Patriots and will reset the offense.
It's an even smaller lineup for Washington right now. We don't have Gore or Welty on the floor.
McCarthy with the basketball over to Dolman. Dolman off the Sean McCarthy screen, pick and roll, and it's off the kickball violation. Yeah, interesting, we haven't seen Chet Gore this quarter, and Gore had a good quarter offensively for the Patriots with 7 points in that opening quarter. Here's Josh McCarthy off the inbound. Tough shot, no good. Rebounded by Sean McCarthy. He has it ripped away, though, by Somerville. Somerville in transition. Fast break opportunity for the Hubs, and that shot's no good. Rebounded, though, by Purgis. His shot is no good. Somerville grabs the rebound. The smaller Washington lineup being outmanned on the glass, and Somerville eventually draws a foul. He'll go shoot 2 at the line. Gore getting ready to check in here now.
Yeah, I think they could use a little more size. It's the thing that the Hubs are rebounding the ball well right now.
Somerville knocks down the free throw.
I see Gore comes in for Dolman. So they were running sort of a 3-guard, 2-wing lineup out there.
Second one from Somerville is up and good as well.
You can still run a sort of 5-out offense if you want with Gore. We've seen that he can shoot the ball and he can handle the ball outside.
31-23 our score. Borley drives into the lane. Tough shot on the way is no good. Rebounded by Darren Whedon. Whedon ahead to Strickland. Strickland drives in, finds Whedon cutting to the basket, and he lays it up and in. Darren Whedon with his first 2 points. It's a 10-point lead here for the North Hagerstown Hubs.
I want to see more of the Washington guards on these pick and rolls make that pocket pass to Gore, whoever it may be. Especially Gore, on the short roll, has shown that he can handle the ball. Give him the chance of, if he's not going to have an open shot himself, he can pass it.
Machado into the corner for McCarthy. McCarthy drives in. Tough shot on the way. Rebounded by the Hubs at Somerville, and Somerville will bring it across the timeline into the hands of Strickland. Strickland down low to Walters. Walters finishes underneath. And things starting to really fall into North Hagerstown's side. Now up 35-23.
We haven't gotten any timeouts, have we?
No, we have not seen timeouts on either side with over a minute to go in this first half.
It's slowly, it's sort of been a trickle, but it's slowly getting away from Washington here a minute before the halftime.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time in terms of the actual game, but they just haven't really figured out much here offensively this quarter. McCarthy driving in, tough shot, again no good. And
7 points.
A lot of the looks this quarter for Washington have been contested shots either at the rim or on the mid-range. There's a Whedon layup on the fast break that falls short. Gore grabs the rebound for the Patriots. Dolman's back in. Dolman with the basketball trying to get the crossover. Lost control of it, swings it up top to Chet Gore. Gore now at the crossover dribble, has it poked away. Strickland fighting for the basketball. It heads out of bounds. It will go to the Patriots with 22 seconds left. Down by 12 at 35-23. North Hagerstown on top of Washington. Sean McCarthy off the inbound finds Josh McCarthy. Now it's back over to Machado. Machado over with the crossover dribble. Up top to Sean McCarthy. 8 seconds on the clock. Josh McCarthy now with it off the McCarthy screen. Pulls up from the elbow. Short. No good. Rebounded by the Hubs. And that will do it for the first half of play. North Hagerstown leads Washington after the first half. 35-23. We'll take a 2-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Boys Basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. We're back in 2 minutes with the Mansion Freddie Law Firm halftime show.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
WVU Medicine is pleased to introduce 8 new providers who've joined University Health Associates East and our medical staffs at Berkeley Medical Center and Jefferson Medical Center. Dr. Hafiz Subair and Dr. Casey Martin, Pulmonary and Critical Care. Dr. Kyrie Horsley and Dr. Alan Tenzar, Podiatry. Dr. Layla Elder, Family Medicine. Dr. Jack Gellman, Plastic Surgery. Dr. Brianna Barr, Hospitalist, and Dr. Jonathan Moss, Family Medicine and Transitional Care. Welcome to WVU Medicine.
We welcome you back here to the Skip Fowler Memorial Classic. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Dylan Bishop, John Allerton, our cameraman. And back in the studio is Colin McLaughlin as we take a look here, Dylan, at our first half. But first of all, we want to shout out our sponsors, or the Skip Fowler Classic sponsors here for the tournament. Martinsburg High School sponsors for this tournament: Smallwood and Small Insurance, Brown Funeral Homes, Pennington Auto, United Bank, the Holiday Inn, Palmer Investments, Chick-fil-A, Domino's, Orsini's, the Auto Spa Express, and then King's Pizza and Falling Waters. But Dylan, as we take a look back at this first half, what kind of stood out to you about the matchup so far?
The first quarter was all about Landon Somerville and his ability to just make any shot over any defense, it seemed like. And then the story of the second quarter to me was that both offenses went pretty cold, but Washington's in particular. Because it was 24-16 after the first quarter. And then in the second quarter, North Hagerstown only scores 11, but then Washington only scores 7. And there was just no offensive cohesiveness for Washington. It was sloppy, and it was just tiny mistakes, really. In the end, it was just not playing with good fundamentals, losing the ball, not boxing out, things of that nature. So I think that they just weren't able to get anything going. It's been tough defense by North Hagerstown, I'll give them that. But I think that there's some things that Washington can improve on in the second half to get better.
Our halftime show is brought to you by the Mansion Freddie Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. We'll now get some first half stats brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, Promote, Protect, offering public, clinical, and environmental services at 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. For Washington, it's 2 points for Dolman, 5 points for Machado, 7 for Bordley, 7 for Chet Gore, and 2 for McCarthy. That is Josh McCarthy with 2. Then for North Hagerstown, Whedon with 5 points, Darren Whedon with 2 points, Drama with 4, 14 for Somerville, 10 for Walters, and 2 for Reese Strickland. That will do it for the halftime show. We'll take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, Colin McLaughlin will have a quick scoreboard update as we have about 5 minutes to go before the start of the second half. This is West Virginia High School Boys Basketball and Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. When what to my wondering eyes did appear but a roached propane truck and a man in cold weather gear? He spoke not a word but went straight to his work and filled up the tank, then turned with a jerk. I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight,
Merry Christmas to all!
Call Roach Energy at 304-263-3329.
One of the questions lawyers get asked the most is, what is my case worth?
I'm Steven Skinner, and this is my brother Andrew with Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
The truth is, it's very difficult for a lawyer to pinpoint a number because every case is different.
We get to know each situation and we'll give you an idea of what your case is worth and why.
The sooner we get involved, the better we can do getting you the compensation you deserve.
Google Skinner Lawyers or go to SkinnerWins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Finally, West Virginia is moving in the right direction. As your West Virginia Senate President, Craig Blair has passed the most conservative legislative agenda in the nation. He has fought for our values like banning elective abortions, protecting our Second Amendment rights, and prevented boys from playing in girls' sports. Senator Craig Blair championed the largest tax cut in the history of our state. Craig Blair, a strong conservative leader. Promises made, promises kept. This election, vote for Republican Craig Blair for State Senate. Paid for by the committee to re-elect Craig Blair.
Welcome into the And One Halftime Scoreboard Show on Talk Radio WRNR. And TV 10. Colin McLaughlin here at the half. Things not looking good so far for the Washington Patriots as they trail North Hagerstown 35-23 at the half. Let's quickly give you a scoreboard update for some college bowl games taking place today. Games that already went final. The Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, it was number 16 Notre Dame defeating number 19 Oregon State in blowout fashion 40-8. In the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, it was number 22 Clemson coming back in the fourth quarter against Kentucky, getting the win 38-35. 42 seconds left in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. It looks like Memphis will get the win over Iowa State. They lead 36-26. And at 8 p.m. tonight on ESPN, it's number 9 Missouri taking on number 7 Ohio State in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. That wraps things up here on the And One halftime scoreboard show. Again at the half, it is North Hagerstown 35, Washington 23. We'll step aside, take another 2-minute break, and then send it back to Nick and Dylan for quarter number 3. The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596. Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for Dollar Wings and Monday Night Football. Thursdays on the patio for the Cornhole Tourney. Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
We welcome you back here to Martinsburg. Nick Verzolini, Dylan Bishop here on the broadcast. John Hallerton is our cameraman, and back in the studio is Colin McLaughlin. Our third quarter, as we get ready for that, is brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to fordofhagerstown.com, as well as Smallwood and Small Insurance and Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. Dylan, Washington starts with the basketball here to begin this third quarter after a tough second quarter offensively. We'll see if the Patriots can get something going. And a couple of new guys out on the court. Hale is out there. Welty trying to pass, and it's off the side of the backboard, and Somerville brings it back out there. Yeah, it's a different look for Washington. Hale out there, as well as Barry and
Avery Brown.
Brown as well, yeah. So Brown will try an open three, and that's good. So
obviously different numbers on the JV team, but did we see, was Avery Brown making those free throws at the end of the game in JV? I think that might have been him.
Yeah, that looked like him, yeah. I was going to say that the numbers are even different from yesterday, Dylan, because of the new uniforms for Washington. There's a drive on the baseline from Walters.
Yeah, let's see. There's
Shot is up and good.
No Bordley, no Dolman. Wait, different. Maybe this is a motivational tactic from Coach Miller here.
Yeah, definitely don't typically see guys that haven't entered the game.
Because Barry's a sophomore, Brown's a freshman.
You don't typically see guys that haven't entered the game start the second half. Unless it is some sort of, hey, we're not really getting what we want to see. We're not doing what we're supposed to do. Let's change things up. These guys are willing to run the offense or whatever the case may be.
If I were him, I would have understood.
Barry's shot is way off the mark. Strickland in transition, back the other way, and he's out of bounds, and it's a turnover for North Hagerstown. Washington takes back over. So 37-26 our score, 6:29 to go in this third period. And it'll be Barry to bring the basketball up for the Washington Patriots. Into the hands of Hale. Hale off the Sean McCarthy screen, up top to George Welty. Welty kicks it to Barry, dribbled off the foot, and now into the hands of Whedon. Whedon back the other way, trying to set things up. Finds Somerville. Into the hands now of Walters. Walters gets doubled down low. Reverse the basketball back up top to Somerville. Dolman getting ready to check in at the scores table. And now into the hands of Whedon down low. Back out to Griffin. Shot goes up, no good. Walters now tries a three. Wild shot off the side of the backboard. Rebounded by Barry. Nice behind the back dribble. Down court to Sean McCarthy with the left-handed layup.
See, I think Coach Miller would have been well within his rights to go in there at halftime and look at his team and say, you guys don't act like you actually want to be out there. You guys are playing sloppy, just making little mistakes. And I could see him saying, I'm going to put some guys out there that don't usually get into the games, guys that want to prove themselves. And say, see if I can actually get some players out there that seem like they want to be here. Now, it'd be a harsh thing for him to do, but that's the motivational tactic so far. They're, backed only down by 9 points.
Yeah, who knows what it was, but whatever it was, it worked so far. 37-28, timeout North Hagerstown. They burn a 30. Let's keep it here. As it looks like it's going to be a pretty quick timeout here. 5:20 to go in this third quarter. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Dylan Bishop. And Dylan, it could also be like, hey, maybe we'll try some different looks, see if that just messes or mixes some things up here a little bit.
But to me,
we did see a little bit of Barry yesterday. We didn't see too much from Brown. So that's
to me, that lineup he put out here to start the second half is sending a message.
Right, some sort of message. Right. Dolman in the game here for Barry. Everybody else remains the same for the Patriots. Strickland over to Somerville. Somerville over to Strickland, top of the key. Three on the way, no good, but he is fouled on the way up.
That's a good way for a freshman to get himself pulled out of game.
Brown picks up the foul there.
He doesn't get the hook immediately, but that's a freshman mistake right there.
Strickland's free throw is up and good. Strickland now with 3 points for the Hubs, who hold a 10-point lead over the Washington Patriots. Defensively, Washington was fine in that second quarter for the most part.
Again, 11 points. That's all the Washington they gave up. They switched that zone. They switched the zone, and it worked out in their favor. They just couldn't score.
Third free throw is no good. Rebounded by Hale. Dolman ahead here to Brown, and now back into the hands of Dolman. Off the Welty screen over to McCarthy. Hale off the screen from Sean McCarthy, gets double teamed, and then a foul called. 4:44 to go in this third quarter, 39-28. Washington with the dribble handoff into the hands of Hale off the Welty screen over to McCarthy. Sean McCarthy, that is. Handoff to Dolman. Dolman off the McCarthy screen. Pick and roll. McCarthy swings it to the corner for Brown. Extra pass over to Hale. Washington trying to figure it out offensively. Dolman drives in with the floater. It's high off the side of the backboard and no good. It will head out of bounds and now go back to the Patriots as Walters tips it away. Dolman now to inbound. Finds Hale. Hale pulls up with a corner three. No good. Rebounded by George Welty. Welty dives on the floor, gets to the basketball. Both teams kind of fighting for possession. It ends up in the hands of Sean McCarthy and a timeout for Washington. Let's take a 30-second break. 39-28 our score. North Hagerstown on top with 4:09 to go in the third.
WVU Medicine Jefferson Medical Center is proud to announce that our total hip and knee replacement surgery programs recently earned the Joint Commission's Gold Seal of Approval. Achieving this prestigious Joint Commission certification distinguishes Jefferson Medical Center for the excellent care our orthopedic team provides at every stage from pre-admission to acute hospital stay and discharge. It also demonstrates Jefferson Medical Center's ongoing commitment to improving patient care. WVU Medicine, leading healthcare here and everywhere.
We welcome you back here to Martinsburg High School for the Skip Fowler Memorial Classic. Game 1 here of Day 2 between Washington and North Hagerstown. Game 2 will follow between Martinsburg and Lindsley to close out the night here. Third quarter, Washington trails North Hagerstown 39-28. The 4:09 to go in this third period. Sean McCarthy off the inbound three-pointer is no good. Rebounded by the Patriots. A foul called on Walters underneath the basket on his way up to grab that rebound, and Dolman keeps the possession alive for Washington. It's the first on Walters. Welty off the inbound over to McCarthy. Now Dolman catches, kicks it out. Brown open three on the way. That's good. Brown has 6 points.
Extra outside shooting he's brought to this second half.
Walters drives in. That shot is no good. He gets his own rebound, though. And will reset the offense for North Hagerstown. Day Whedon with the basketball at 39-31. Walters pass underneath the Somerville layup. Up and good. 16 points for Somerville. He continues to be a problem for the Washington Patriots with 3:25 to go in the third period and a 10-point lead for North Hagerstown.
Welty got caught sleeping down low.
Dolman off the Welty screen. Chet Gorgon ready to check back into the game. Welty down low, goes up strong, can't finish. Rebounded by Somerville. Whedon now ahead to Somerville. Thought about the long three, now drives in, kicks it out. Extra pass to Strickland. Strickland down low, Somerville. Nice in and out dribble move, but he decides to pull it back out and reset. Into the high post for Walters. Walters spinning in the lane, shot up and good.
That was a mismatch. He was able to take advantage.
14 for Walters, the senior, and North Hagerstown leads by 12 at 43-31. Brown now off the McCarthy screen. Brown over to Welty, top of the key. Reverse the ball into Ben Hale's hands. Hale comes off the George Welty screen and drives in. Has the ball tipped up into the air. Sean McCarthy saves it with a tough situation there. It's now a fast break. Down low, shot is no good. And off the mark from Griffin. He'll head to the line to shoot a pair. So he got fouled. We're going to see Chet Gore and Josh McCarthy check back into the game here with 2:20 to go in this third quarter.
Yeah, Coach Miller committed to this lineup, and now he's kind of going away from it as he Boardley now gets up to check in. It got themselves a little bit of a run, but I think the lineup started to lose steam here at the end, and now you're still down by 12. They got it down to, what, 8 or 9? So they were doing pretty well, but now more of the usual lineup here. Machado's back in.
Well, I think now you get to see, okay, was this effective, this move? Because like you said, Dylan, it seemed like some sort of motivational tactic. Free throw up and good for Griffin. 44-31. Now the score.
Yeah, so they're back to Machado, Dolman, Boardley, Josh McCarthy, and Gore.
So we'll see how effective it was with these guys, if that was the case. Dolman off the screen from Gore over to McCarthy. Had an open look, but passes up, finds Boardley. Boardley drives into the lane, goes up strong at the basket or the shot, but it's no good, comes up short. Strickland now in transition, pulls up from just inside the free throw line. It's no good. Rebounded by McCarthy. Fast break for the Patriots. McCarthy tries to find Bordley, but it's tipped away by Whedon and will stay with Washington underneath. When we saw on that first possession more of an offensive look from this starting unit that didn't start the second half, even though Bordley's shot came up short. Machado now off of a Chet Gore screen. Goes to work. Drives in, kicks it out to McCarthy. Now over to Dolman on the left wing. Down 13 is Washington at 44-31. Gore reverses the basketball into the hands of DJ Bordley. Bordley off the screen from Gore, back over to McCarthy. McCarthy now finds Gore posting up. He'll go to work, fade away, mid-range J is good. Chet Gore hasn't scored since the first quarter, but he has 9 points for Washington.
You see, North Hagerstown was switching screens, switching on the screens there on that possession. I think finally Washington made the adjustment, got it down low to Gore after a mismatch.
Walters just relentless on the offensive boards, and he gets fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot a pair again. Gore picks up the foul.
Those first 2 possessions from Washington after the more of a starting lineup check back in didn't look much different to me. But that third possession, they at least did a better job of recognizing that the screens were being switched on, and eventually Gore had a mismatch down low. But still, I don't think, when they weren't switching, I don't think the guards for Washington were still utilizing the pocket pass on the pick and roll enough.
Both free throws are good from Walters. He's had himself a good game at 18 points. 46-33. North Hagerstown leading Washington. And a foul called on Whedon as Dolman tried to get to the lane. 51 seconds left in this third period. It's a 13-point lead for North Hagerstown over Washington at 46-33. Into the hands of Machado. Somerville slips trying to take it away. Machado comes off the Gore screen, pulls up from the elbow, and that's off the side of the backboard, no good. Rebounded by Reese Strickland, and now Machado with a bad foul in transition, as that will lead to 2 free throws. Or no, I'm sorry, that's only the 4th. And Machado will check out. Checking back in for Washington is Braylon Berry. Somerville gets the ball in here to Darren Whedon. Whedon off the Berry, guarding him. Somerville now with the basketball, swings it over to the corner for Day Whedon. His shot is short, no good. Rebounded by McCarthy. Washington looking to run. In the hands of Berry, now back to Dolman. Dolman off the drive, pulls up for 3. That's off the side of the rim, no good. Rebounded by North Hagerstown. Hagerstown with it now. 5 seconds. Whedon's long 3 at the buzzer is off the mark and short, no good. Rebounded by Chet Gore, and Washington won't get a shot off, and we head to the 4th quarter. With our score, North Hagerstown 46, Washington 33. We're back at 60 seconds. This is West Virginia High School Boys Basketball Talk Radio, WRNR and TV10.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or HancockChevy.com.
We welcome you back here to Martinsburg High School, Skip Fowler Memorial Classic. Game 1 here of day 2 between Washington and North Hagerstown. North Hagerstown leading here after 3 quarters, 46-33 as we begin the 4th quarter here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube, as well as Talk Radio WRNR. Our 4th quarter is brought to you by Ollie's VIP Northside, the best local spot to catch sports or hang out with friends. Stop by 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. Ollie's VIP will see you for the game, as well as the Larry DeMarco team at Modern Realty Results. If you're looking for a home in the Tri-State, they have you covered. Somerville with it in the corner, up top to Walters on the wing. Skip pass, Whedon's corner 3 is short, no good. Rebounded by the Patriots, and yes, they do take it away. DJ Bordley now with the left-handed layup is good. So, Dylan, it's a 11-point deficit here for Washington as we begin this 4th quarter. What do you think the Patriots can do better to try to get back into this one?
We see they've gone to a different lineup here again. Avery Brown's back in, no Chet Gore or Welty right now. I think they're just trying to get smaller, and
Walters says you better get bigger as he lays
right,
it
that's
up
going to be
and
the problem with this lineup is can you stop Walters? You're counting on Sean McCarthy as your center in this lineup. I'm not sure. They just need to find better shots, and
they've been tough to come by. Machado kicks it out to an open Bordley for a good look, but it's off the mark, no good.
That was a good shot, but didn't make it.
Reese Strickland now slows things down for North Hagerstown with 6.5 minutes to go in this ball game. He finds Walters. Walters into the hands of Somerville, now back to Whedon. Somerville's gotten a little bit quiet in this second half, but Walters has stepped it up. Good no-look pass to Strickland. Whedon back to Walters, who drives into the lane, goes up strong with the layup and the foul. The foul and the finish for Walters, whose big second half continues. $10 points here in the second half for Walters. Free throw to give him 11 now for the half.
I don't think this line works for them defensively for Washington. I think they need Gore or Welty out there to deal with Walters.
21 for the game as well, unless they want to go back to that zone, but even then with this lineup, probably not the best.
Yeah, I mean, the zone makes it harder to box out.
But also, with it now being a 16-point game and no shot clock, zone isn't that great of a move either because they can just hold the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, North Hagerstown used to playing with the shot clock in the state of Maryland. Bordley drives in, goes up strong, and gets fouled on his way up. 51-35, our score. Bordley to the line to shoot 2. I mean, it's going to be tough at this point anyway, with it being a 16-point game in just under 6 minutes. And the fact that your offense hasn't been great, but if they're not going to stop Walters, then it's going to be tough to have any sort of comeback. Bordley's free throw is no good. A lot for Washington to grow on here moving forward after this tournament. Both free throws no good from Bordley, but he does grab his own rebound. Finds Barry. And Barry finds a good cut from Brown. And Brown gets the layup to go and gets fouled. He's played well here in the second half, Dylan. Now 8 points for him, and he's headed to the line for another 3-point opportunity.
I think he's probably earned himself some more minutes going forward. He's been a nice spark for some points off the bench.
Timeout taken by the Patriots, down 51-37 with 5:43 left in this 4th quarter. We'll take a 30-second break. This is West Virginia High School Boys Basketball and Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10. We welcome you back here to the Skip Fowler Memorial Classic. Nick Verzolini, Dylan Bishop here on the call. John Hallerton, our cameraman, and back in the studio is Colin McLaughlin. Dylan, as things kind of wind down here, again, Washington coming in 4-0 to the Skip Fowler Memorial Classic. Most likely probably going to drop this one to North Hagerstown after losing last night to Lindsley, as it's 51-37 with just under 6 minutes left. Still have a lot of time, though, to possibly get your way back into it. But it just seems like it's been a struggle offensively for the Patriots, and they're having some growing pains right now with a young team. Just one senior on the roster, and Josh McCarthy. And it's a new coaching staff as well. Here's North Hagerstown bringing the ball into the front court. Walters called for the travel that time. And Washington will get the possession back.
Right, I think you can credit North Hagerstown a good bit for their defense.
They're a veteran team.
Right, because obviously Washington's had success early in the season. They're going to, more than likely come out of this tournament 0-2, but they can recover for sure. It's just been tough going against this. It's a good defensive team.
It's a team with all juniors and seniors.
They lost to Martinsburg yesterday, but they didn't even give up 50 points.
And they could have won. I mean, they had a big lead. I don't know exactly what happened. They just kind of fell apart offensively, but this is a good North Hagerstown team. Brown's shot is no good, and I still think Washington will be good. They just, need to grow a little bit, get a little bit better, and it's been some tough stretch here at the Skip Fowler, but they have talent. That's clear.
You start the season successfully, but then you run into some things like this. It just lets you know that you have things to grow on. You have things to work on. They're by no means a perfect basketball team, so it can be a positive in the end.
Here's Walters with it in the corner. Reversing the basketball is North Hagerstown. Whedon back to the other Whedon there, and Day Whedon now with it. Off the Walters screen. Whedon drives in, kicks it down low to Walters. Good job by Machado to reach down for it and grab the basketball and force the jump ball, which gives the ball to Washington with 4:14 remaining in this fourth quarter. And North Hagerstown up 51-37.
You don't see a jump ball between a guy that's 5'6" and 6'5" very often.
If it was
caused
the NBA.
caused by the 5'6" player.
If it was the NBA, I don't think Machado's winning that jump ball, but since it's high school, possession error gives the ball to Washington.
He would have had a tough time with that one.
You never know, though.
Yeah?
Some 5'6" guys can jump better than 6-foot guys.
It's the size of the fight in the dog.
Look at Nate Robinson. Spud Webb.
Exactly.
McCarthy swinging it over to Josh McCarthy. He'll pull up from the elbow. His shot is no good, but he chases after his own rebound. Goes up strong and can't finish, but that's going to be goaltending. So McCarthy's shot.
It was overruled, looks like. Maybe?
I'm not sure.
Thought I heard that the other officials say it was after the ball came down.
I'm going to write it down for now. Can't hear what the PA guy said. But 51-39 is what it says on the scoreboard, so count it for now, Dylan.
Okay.
As North Hagerstown brings that ball out, knowing they can kind of hold it with a huge or a significant lead here, 51-39.
12, especially with the way that Washington's been scoring the ball.
And the fact that you can do stuff like this.
They've only scored 4 points. They've only scored 4 points in this quarter.
Walters, tough shot over McCarthy. Good defense. Rebounded by Josh McCarthy. He'll push it ahead for the Patriots. Fakes the handoff to Machado, drives into the lane. Floater is up and no good. Rebounded by Walters. He'll find Whedon, who will bring it across the timeline. 2:35 to go. North Hagerstown leads 51-39 over Washington. And what was a really good back-and-forth first quarter at 24-16. Since then, North Hagerstown kind of settled into the game, played some good defense, and Washington has struggled to keep up. Whedon drives into the lane, gets fouled by Josh McCarthy on the floor with 2:13 left in this fourth quarter. And Coach Miller's going to burn another timeout for the Patriots. 2:13 left. We'll take a 30-second break. This is West Virginia High School Boys Basketball and Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
The W.B. Rockefeller Neuroscience Institute Martinsburg clinics will be moving to a new location beginning January 9th. Our RNI team is moving to a larger custom-designed suite on the third floor of the Spring Mills Medical Office Building at 61 Campus Drive. Teams that will be moving include physical medicine and rehabilitation, neurosurgery, and neurology. We look forward to welcoming new patients at our new location on January 9th. For more info, call 304-596-5038.
We welcome you back here to Martinsburg High School at the Skip Fowler Memorial Classic. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Dylan Bishop, John Alderton, our cameraman, Kyle McLaughlin, back in the studio. The Skip Fowler Memorial Classic is sponsored by Smallwood and Small Insurance, Brown Funeral Homes, Pennington Auto, United Bank, the Holiday Inn, Palmer Investments, Chick-fil-A, Domino's, Orsini's, the Auto Spa Express, King's Pizza, and Falling Waters. 51-39 our score. And a foul called against the Patriots as Walters was on his way up to the rim. He'll head to the line to shoot two. Good second half for Walters. 11 points in the second half, 10 points in the first half. So overall, just a great game. 21 for the senior in a game where they needed somebody to step out.
Right, no Bonds, no Keys. He's that number 4 scorer on the team. He had to step up and be number 2. He had to step up and be number 2.
He's turned into number 1.
Exactly, yeah.
Somerville had the huge first half of 14 in that first half, but just 2 here in the second half. Second one is no good, but a good rebound by Somerville. He'll get fouled as well, and he'll head to the line now as we enter the double bonus. Next foul for both teams will be double bonus with just over 2 minutes left in the ballgame at 52-39. McCarthy picks up his second personal, Josh McCarthy, that is.
Only 6 points so far in this quarter for North Hagerstown. It's just the offensive struggles for Washington continue.
Somerville adds to his total now at 17. As Washington goes into its bench a little bit, Watkins is going to come in at 53-39. Sean McCarthy checks out. Second free throw from Somerville is good as well. So 18 for the junior. Floater in the lane from Dolman, no good. Walters skies up for the rebound and secures it. So Washington's going to fall to 4-2. North Hagerstown trying to improve to 6-2. Strickland had an open 3, but passed it up to kill some more clock. Whedon with the basketball, standing in the Bulldog logo here at Martinsburg High School, and he draws the foul. Again, stay tuned. We'll have more high school basketball for you following this contest as Martinsburg will take on Lindsley in what should be an interesting game. Lindsley coming off of a huge win over Washington, looking like in that first day the most impressive team in this tournament. But Martinsburg had a great second half against this North Hagerstown team, and we'll see what they're able to build on from yesterday as Whedon's free throw is no good. .136 left in the ball game, 54-39, North Hagerstown. Second free throw is no good. Watkins grabs it for the Patriots. on the rebound. Dolman now, the left-handed dribble, lost control of it, picked up by Strickland. Minute 25 left. North Hagerstown brings it across half court. Washington gets the steal. Dolman comes away with it. Ahead to Hale. Hale into the hands of McCarthy for three. That's short, no good. Rebounded by North Hagerstown. Somerville attacks now, kicks it back out to kill some more clock. A minute to go. 54-39 remains the score. Fourth quarter. North Hagerstown just kind of dribbling it out as they look to get this win. Strickland drives in, kicks it back out.
You're seeing the aggressive trap now from Washington. But
yeah, not trying to foul or anything, just trying to maybe get some more possessions for the Patriots.
They're trying to force turnovers. It's not quite working out, though. Good ball movement by the Hubs.
You would expect here soon for Washington to probably just call it off and North Hagerstown to jump off or to dribble out the clock, as they're just kind of playing keep away right now. Somerville swings it back around the perimeter, and that will do it. Final 10 seconds roll off the clock. North Hagerstown gets a win here over Washington, 54-39. And the Hubs get their sixth win on the season. Washington gets back-to-back losses here in the Skip Fowler Memorial Classic. We'll take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll have the Palace Lounge postgame show. This is West Virginia High School boys basketball on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Get in the holiday spirit with a new Chevy from CMA's Chevrolet of Martinsburg. Right now, during the Chevy Red Tag sales event, save up to $9,000 off MSRP on a new 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab. Or check out a new 2024 Equinox and save up to $3,000 off MSRP. And did we mention every new car comes with Chevy Complete Care and our lifetime warranty? Find new roads at CMA Chevrolet of Martinsburg.com, where owners just care more.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer!
The Mountaineer Pub offers many daily specials, including Trivia Night Mondays, Karaoke Tuesdays, Steak Night Wednesdays and Sundays, Boneless Swing Night Thursdays, and DJ and/or karaoke, again Fridays and Saturdays. And remember, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays through Fridays is happy hour with $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Pub!
Finally, West Virginia is moving in the right direction. As your West Virginia Senate President, Craig Blair has passed the most conservative legislative agenda in the nation. He has fought for our values like banning elective abortions, protecting our Second Amendment rights, and prevented boys from playing in girls' sports. Senator Craig Blair championed the largest tax cut in the history of our state. Craig Blair, a strong conservative leader. Promises made, promises kept. This election, vote for Republican Craig Blair for State Senate. Paid for by the Committee to Re-elect Craig Blair.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
We welcome you back here to Martinsburg High School here at the Skip Fowler Memorial Classic. Nick Verzolini, Dylan Bishop here on the Palace Lounge postgame show. The postgame show is brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. A full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. We'll now get into our game stats brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer on Route 11 South Inwood. Taking care of you like nobody's business. Before we get into those game stats, as we'll actually have to change that sponsor here at some point, as Bechtel Jewelers is now closed. But, Dylan, just give us your quick thoughts on this one.
I think Washington just couldn't find the offensive rhythm they needed. They did okay in the first quarter, but then after that, they just got shut down completely. Even when they were playing good defense, it just wasn't enough for them to come back because the shots weren't falling. They weren't finding good shots. And even in the second half, when Coach Miller started with a pretty much brand new lineup, maybe as a motivational tactic or strategic, whatever it was, it wasn't enough. North Hagerstown locked in on defense and allowed them very little on the offensive end, so they just weren't able to make that comeback at all in the second half.
All right, our game stats here quickly. For Washington, 2 points for Dolman, 5 for Machado, 9 for Bordley, 8 for Brown, 9 for Gore, 2 for McCarthy, 4 for Josh McCarthy, 2 for Sean McCarthy, and then for North Hagerstown, 5 for Whedon, 2 for Darren Whedon, 4 for Drama, 18 for Somerville, 22 for Walters, and 2 for Griffin. We'll get into now our awards quickly here. Our rejection of the game brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, family owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. Dylan, what's your rejection of the game? You got one?
Not the typical definition of a rejection. There weren't a whole lot of blocks in this game, but there was a 2-on-1 fast break that was stopped or rejected, you could say, by Darion Whedon in the third quarter, where just all by himself stopped he was the one in the 2-on-1 break, and he stopped McCarthy from making a pass over to Bordley and shut down the break all by himself.
All right, what about your moment of the game? Brought to you by WV Medicine, Berkeley Medical Center, and Jefferson Medical Center, leading healthcare here and everywhere.
I'm going to say the first quarter buzzer beater by Landon Somerville just capped off a first quarter where he was making everything over the defenders of Washington. And after that, that 8-point difference at the end of the first quarter, they didn't extend the lead a whole lot from there. It was a defense mostly from that point. But I think that was a good indicator of, how North Hagerstown was able to get out to that early lead and keep it from there.
All right, and finally, your player of the game brought to you by Kelly Allstate Insurance. For all of your insurance needs, call Gary Kelly at 304-263-4596 or stop by 724 Lakeview Drive in Martinsburg. Dylan, tough one here on the player of the game, but who you got?
Brady Walters, 22 points. Led the team in scoring for North Hagerstown, did a lot of work, and he was really that one guy down low that was able to match the height, the size of Chet Gore and George Welty for Washington, and he more than held his own. He did really good, and he didn't let Washington have many easy shots in the lane on defense either.
All right, we'll take about a 5-minute break or so, depending on how long it takes for Colin to get things set up here for Game 2 on the YouTube side of things, but we'll get ready for Martinsburg and Lindsley on the other side of this break. This is West Virginia High School Boys Basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School Basketball. Today's game has been brought to you by
Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, Rocks, the Dutch Miller Auto Group, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, the Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Brown's Funeral Homes and Cremations, CMA Honda, Craig Blair for State Senate, Orsini's Home Store, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Berkeley County Health Department, Hagerstown Ford, Smallwood and Small Insurance, Modern Realty Results, Ollie's, The Palace Lounge, Bechtel Jewelers, Cody's Auto Body, WVU Medicine, Gary Kelly Allstate Insurance, and the Mountaineer Grill and Pub.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and NBA basketball, keep it tuned to Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. All rights reserved.